Hey there YouTube, it's Mega Man 13788 here, and I originally had planned this video to come up on June 4th to tie in with this girl's birthday right here, but unfortunately I missed the deadline by quite a few days. Some stuff happened, I don't want to get into it, yada yada yada. Without further ado, I have a Weiss Schwarz deck profile coming up for you guys featuring my Hayate deck, which does pretty well if I do say so myself. I mean, this is my first deck that I make in Weiss Schwarz, and I'm pretty happy with the result. I also have something other Weiss Schwarz related coming up later that I am planning to post, so you can keep an eye out for that if you guys are interested in the Weiss Schwarz side of this channel. Because I'm thinking of, making Weiss Schwarz a game that I want to show on this channel. Be it be games over tabletop, because there's no way to play online. I mean, there's Lackey, but Lackey is pretty terrible. And then, just general deck profiles, pack openings, the stuff I do for Yu-Gi-Oh, but also for Weiss Schwarz. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the deck profile, explain some of my choices as we go along. First up, we have 4 Healing Wind Shamo. Now, this card gives any character named Hayate 500 attack, period. Doesn't matter whose turn it is. And then during the opponent's turn, she gives every other magic character 500. So why do we play this? Because it boosts Hayate. The main idea of the deck is Hayate. We have her Guardian Knights here as support, but of course your main attackers are going to be named Hayate, and therefore she boosts all your cards. And having more power, while may not be important on Weiss Schwarz, it is very helpful dealing with some problematic cards, getting rid of them so that they're no longer there. Next up, we have 3 Reinforced Snap Time. Now, this card bonds to a very specific card in the deck, so I'm going to leave one on the side so that when we get to it, we can talk more about what bonding is. Anyway, you pretty much bond with that card. So, yeah, we're going to talk about bonding later. Sorry. That was pretty redundant. I apologize. Next up, we have 3 2K power, Vita, Battle Instructor. So what happens with this card is if it's reversed in battle with a level 0 or lower character, that character is also reversed. So pretty much it's just a suicider or reverser, which would be the technical term. It's just generally good with dealing with some threats at level 0 that you wouldn't be able to get over, because without Healing Wind Shamo, some of your weaker level 0 Hayates, they can't really do much. Next up, for more support, we have 2 Reinforced Seconds. She was born in spring, or spring wind, something. I'm not sure what the translated name is. Anyway, first up, all characters in front of this card gain 500 attack. So again, this helps boost your characters. It doesn't matter which character. It doesn't have to be named Hayate. It doesn't matter whose turn it is. And you can pay 2, tap this card, and then search your deck for any magic character or a character that has Hayate in its card name. So why is this card good over discard 1 hand, pay 1 stock searcher? Because early game you can put some Climaxes in there, and this card helps you dig for your Climaxes. It's probably the best card in the deck, and it also nets you a +1 every turn that you do in fact search. Now for the one of level 0s, we have the 1 Hayate Brainstormer here. Now there's other Brainstormers in the set, but I felt like this one just helps since it goes with the theme. I mean, it's Hayate, so the idea of the deck is Hayate. So that's basically why we use this one over the over the Fate one. Now last for level 0s, we have 4 Hayate in the Infirmary. So now this card is, when it's being front attacked, you can send it to the waiting room and summon level 1 from your hand. So it's a changer. So it changes from level 1 from hand. It's actually pretty good. It's really easy to get the level 1 in your hand. I personally just throw this out, and my opponent will not attack it for fear that I switch into level 1, and they don't want me to have the level 1 out before they're able to hit level 1. Now, for the aforementioned level 1, we have Hayate of the Yagami household. So now it's just a 5/5 vanilla that is brought out with this card, so it changes into that. And 5/5 may not seem threatening, but you got to remember that she will be gaining 500 from one of these, so that puts her at 6k. And then during the opponent's turn, she gains another 5k, so she's gaining 1,000. That puts her at 6/5. And then if you have 2, she's 7/5 during the opponent's turn and 6/5 during your turn, and that's pretty freaking good. That's the idea of the deck. You want to stake at level 1 until you can skip over level 2 and go straight into level 3. To further help with that goal, we have 3 Hayate, punishing misbehaving kids. So now this is a 1/1, so it helps you pay out your stock. So if you got a Climax in there that you just can't get out using Reinforced Second, she'll help you out. So her effect states that you can tap 2 characters, and she gains +2,000 power until the end phase. So she's a 6/5 base normally, so she jumps up to 8/5 using her own effect, and then with 2 Shamels during your turn, she's 9/5. With a Climax, she's 10/5. for a level 1. That's freaking ridiculous. I think that's good. I mean, I don't know how to play this game that well. Probably just lost all credibility with that statement. Anyway, we're going to move on. We have 2 Vita. Encounter on the Rooftop, I believe this one is. Pretty much when you toss it out, it gains 500 for every magic character on board. So you want to toss this out last if you can. And now this kind of conflicts with these the level 1 Hayates, because these level 1 Hayates aren't actually magic characters. They're book characteristics. The little thing in the corner. So they actually only book. They don't get magic until, you know, later on. So this is kind of a hindrance per se, but you need more red. I mean, you can use the Nanoha, but I was trying to keep it in the Nanoha Accelerator that gains plus 3k. I'm trying to keep it Hayate themed, so that's why I'm using Vita over the Nanoha. But if you were trying to make this deck, I would suggest using the Nanoha over her, unless you're trying to keep it Hayate themed the way I was. Now, to round off the level 1s, we just have one of the 15 backup. It's pretty cool. You want to keep your level 1s on board, so that's why it's most important to play this out. And I'm choosing to play this one over anyone because obviously it's Hayate themed, it's blue, it goes with the theme. Oh. Now for level 2s, we have 3 Hayate Unison in. So now this is probably my favorite card in the deck besides the level 3 that this changes into. So all the magic characters first off gain 1000 power. It doesn't matter whose turn it is. It's a 2/1, so you have to pay 1 stock to pull it out like most level 2s, and has 1 soul. You will pay 2. Actually, let me talk about this. This is the card that this bonds to. So to bond, you basically discard a card from your hand and you add this card from your waiting room back into your hand. So now you can pay 2 stock. So that's 1 to pull her out, 2 to pay. So you want to have 3. Generally, by level 2, you want to have like 6 or more stock. That's the general idea. Level 1, it doesn't matter how much stock you have, but you should at least have 1 so you can pay off the Hayate punishing misbehaving kids. So you pay 2, you banish both of these, or send them to memory, sorry, Yu-Gi-Oh! Term still here, and you summon a level 3. So I'm going to leave these 2 on the side so that we can show you what they transform into later. Keeping up with the level 2s, we have the big, strong powerhouse, Reinforce, Moment of Farewell, I believe the translated name is. So it's a 10k, 1 soul, and you pay 1 to pull it out, level 2. So why is this good? It helps fuel the memory, which helps with the level 3 in the deck. And it's a 10k body, so as you can probably notice, all the Hayate cards for the most part have really low attack. So she's just there as a threatening force at level 2 in case you can't do the change. So she's there to keep your body, the pressure up, and during your draw phase you have to clock with her. If you don't, she gets sent to memory, but that's not a big deal because, as we said, going to memory with this deck isn't too bad. More level 2s, we have 2 Zephyra and Shamel. It's probably the only card, this Zephyra card in the deck. You pay 2 stock and you reverse this card to heal 1 damage. And besides that, any character in front of it gains 500 to equal to their level. So it's a level supporter and she can heal you for 1 damage. So that's also really freaking good. And to round off the level 2s, we have 2 of 3k backup. Vita, Bureau, and Officer. It's red, which is why we're using this one over other 3k backups in the deck. Because we need red. If you can't figure it out, we're using Gate Climaxes to help keep our hand advantage. Now for level 3s, we have 3 Master Hayate. Now I would play the Vita level 3, but I just prefer to keep the deck. Since the main idea is Hayate, I want to keep the level 3s Hayate themed. If she comes out, she heals you for 1 damage, and if your opponent has a Climax in the Climax zone, she gains hand encore, so she can stick around for a bit. Of course, she has the two souls that level 3s mostly have. You pay 2 stock to pull out regularly. It's good. Next up, we have 3 Reinforce and Hayate as 1. So this is the card that these 2 change into. Send these 2 to memory, and you pull this card out in its place. So it's a 3/2, like all level 3s, and it has 2 soul, 10k power. So during your opponent's turn, if you have 2 or more magic characters or characters with Hayate in your memory pile, she gains plus 2,000. So she's 12 on your opponent's turn without support. With support, she just hit astronomical levels. I believe the highest I've had her at one point using a backup was 2/5. It's pretty fun. Pretty funny to do that to somebody. They lose their freaking mind. When she's being front attacked, you can look at the top card of your deck and you can either send it to your waiting room or you can keep it on the top of your deck. So it helps thin out your deck in case you need to hit a climax during the late game so you can cancel some damage. Other than that, she has a Climax combo, which isn't really very good, but it does if you activate the Climax, which we'll get to the Climax soon. You pay 1 stock, and then she gains 2k power. You target 2 of your opponent's monsters or characters, and they can't stand during the next turn. So if you can't kill something, I guess it can help stall, but realistically, your opponent will probably send the 2 to the waiting room and summon other ones anyway, unless they can't do it, in which case, then yeah, it's freaking good. So that's it for level 3s. Now we jump into the Climaxes. First up, we have 3 of Mistletoe. I'm not sure what the rest is. I'm just going to call it Mistletoe. Anyway, it's a 1k1 book, so if you trigger it, you just draw a card. Keeping hand advantage is really good in this deck. And this is the card that combos with level 3. To follow that up, we have 1 Starlight Breaker. It's Starlight Breaker, which is why I'm playing it. But if you want to keep the deck Hayate themed, you can play something else. I mean, this is the only other gate I had, so that's why I'm using it. And then to round it off, we have Exilion Buster ACS. So 4 of those. It's another 1k1, just like Starlight Breaker and the other ones. Yeah, it's a gate, so keeping hand advantage is what's really important in this deck to me. So let me know how you guys like that video. How you like the deck, rather. And, yeah, you know, leave a like if you like Weiss Schwarz and you want to see more content here. You can always leave a comment down below if you have any questions. Remember to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Actually, no, I don't even have a Facebook. Anyway, follow me on Twitter. Hit me up on DM sometime for a duel. Ask me any questions. I really don't care. I don't know what I'm doing. Make sure you leave a like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. This is MegaMan1278, logging out.